So my thesis is just like little like stories of like how I got here like to this point. Um, I thought that I didn't because I was mostly doing commercial work, fashion design. Me getting into fashion design and starting making accessories and clothing pieces, it was my first art creation in response to oppression. I was wearing chador. I was going to like my undergrad, Shiraz University of Medical Sciences, and I was the top student. I graduated as like the three first like students in my class.
Of course.
I tried it for 2 days, and there was a lot of inequalities in my favor because I was the top student. I graduated as top student. I could start it's called TAC, the mandatory service that you have to do when you study medical fields with some majors like mine. I didn't even started like it formally yet, but they were like, come on, you are Tarhi, you should do this. And I was like, this is not for me. I'm not gonna waste 2 years of my life under oppression, being disrespected, and when I know that I don't want to continue working in this field. So finally the rule came, and I was the first one ever in Iran that I that I signed up for that to be exempted, and I could get my degree. And I always appreciate my dad who pushed me for getting that. Otherwise I probably couldn't make it here because I couldn't have a degree, an undergrad degree. But anyways, I was going to school for the first year. There had 2 different entrances, one for boys and one for girls, which is so disrespectful. We had to go through a kind of security guard that they would, if you have nail polish, you cannot go in. If you have if your clothing is short, they would send you home to change your clothes and then come back. I remember I was wearing hijab. I was like, okay, I'm good, I'm following the rules, it's fine, whatever. But it was not enough for her. And she would give me trouble for that. Every day she was like, you cannot wear colorful. And I was like, there is no rule for that. Show me. But, she was in the position of power and I was not. So I was like, okay, I'm doing it. I was wearing black scarf, black chador, which is not my favorite at all. And I started making accessories. I was doing sewing a lot with my mom, clothing design. My mom taught me a lot, but with the accessories itself, it was my first response to the oppression. I got my first camera when I was 14 with my pocket money, and I didn't really take photos until I was a sophomore in my undergrad, and we went to a ski tour. And on the way, they said that they announced the photo competition. I had my camera with me, that cyber shot, and I didn't even have a smartphone at that time. And I don't know why, for what reason, I decided to win that competition.
Mm-hmm.
I took photos on that day. That competition was never held, but I was the winner of that competition because that's how I started photography. And the day after, I went with my parents and I got my first smartphone and I started taking photos with that. And I progressed so rapidly that I could teach photography right after I graduated from school. I did photo projects for Shiraz University of Medical Sciences, for Shiraz University when I was a student. That's how it started, and a year after I graduated, I opened up my own creative studio. I'm a self-taught photographer, I learned everything on my own. My brother definitely helped me along the way, especially with photo editing skills. I couldn't do it without him. But I needed a place. So we opened it up, and it was this small team. It was me and my brother, and then he was so busy with working with outside of Iran at that time that I continued myself. But it was fantastic. We found an old Iranian style house. It was my father's friend's kind of place. He was not living there. He was just there. He owned it. We designed everything on our own there. We painted all the walls. My brother and my father made chandeliers for there. It was a showroom for my fashion design brand Sanjab, and I would teach photography there, professional commercial photography workshops, more basic photo classes, portrait photo sessions for clients. The idea of this work started with the the Persian rug, a piece of Persian rug that my mom got it from Vakil Bazaar for me. She knew that like I love rugs. She went to store by store asking me, do you have a little piece I can buy it for you from you? And none of them had it because they all have fancy like hand woven rugs. And one of these sellers, he was sitting on a kind of like stool, and he had this little piece. He had this little piece that he was sitting on that, and he just like, doesn't work for you.
Oh my god.
And my mom insisted on paying, but I was like, no worries, it's my gift to you. So I wanted to work with that because I didn't want to just talk about the dark parts of our country, you know, just about the bad things. So I started working with rugs, and the idea of women being stepped on like a Persian rug, you know, the idea of like sweep it under the rug like dust when you have a guest, you know, you're just like dusting, like put the dust under the rug. I got to the point that I have learned everything that I could learn on my own. I want to expand my knowledge. I want to have another life experience of living in another country, and also being in another art scene, see how it works, what is fun. Some of these universities in the US don't have a clear idea of how hard it is for Iranians to get a visa. So I got admitted to UND, and they told me so late. It was like 1 or 2 months before the classes start, and there was no way for me to make an appointment for the embassy. So I had to defer it. I deferred my admission to summer, and I was not hoping to get anything because the offer that I got was not fully funded also. I was like, okay, I cannot make it. And I started applying for other universities. I started like applying, making another portfolio, applying for other universities this whole summer. And with having that, okay, I just deferred it, but I'm not gonna make it, you know. But at the end of summer, I got an email from them that we are having a fully funded offer for you for fall semester. And again, it was too late. And I love the idea of like, okay, it's fully funded, I want to make it. Again, I had to defer that. Again, I deferred it to spring. There was no guarantee that they were able to give me that funding. But I could make it. Even though some of my friends were like, don't worry about it, you're not gonna make it, it's not gonna happen. But I did it. I was working so hard on making the appointment. I was on my computer the whole time. And I did it, and I went to North Dakota.
You went to North Dakota. That was the start of like your journey in US.
Yes. Those people made it amazing experience for me. I was crying when I was telling them that I'm transferring. I made them little accessories from my brand for the people that I love there. I'm happy that I have some industry experience, that I'm hoping to get some jobs in that. And my criticism always for this program or these types of programs is that they do not, even the undergrads, you know, at least us as grads, we already come here with the skill set. For example, I come here with the like very good skill set of like commercial photography, portrait photography. I can do all of those for living, and I enjoy it. As an emerging artist in the new country, I really like to have some sort of support in terms of finding galleries to show my work, you know, making connections. I'm trying to make connections for everything that I need right now because I have the work ready, and yeah, why not, you know, as long as honestly, as long as that support is not costing me crazy amounts of money, which I don't have, I'd love to. My chandelier piece for my thesis show and hopefully for future shows. The name of the work is I Still Can See. I have the Iranian women eyes. Each of these pieces has different eyes from different people on each side. And the name of the work is I Still Can See. And the meaning of the work is coming from the idea of women being encouraged and mostly forced to be hidden by the Iranian regime and the patriarchal systematic. Yes. The idea came from that like having the faces on different surfaces, domestic surfaces. I still can see, even if I am hidden behind this knife in that kitchen area, even if it's like violent, you're supposedly like, I'm at the danger of you killing me with that. I still can see. I still can see the freedom. But I thought that I need to have this brutality in my work. Yes. To convey how brutal is that oppression.
Yes.
You know, because if you just talk about mandatory hijab or like other topics, they're like, is it really our problem? It's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. It's
It
just
is.
one example of that.